Hi everyone. In this session number 34, we will discuss an important topic of organic chemistry. Either organic chemistry or you can call it as bioorganic or general chemistry topic, that is nucleic acids. And the moment I say nucleic acid, you will recollect something of this type. Okay, and that is chromosome. You all must be knowing, because those who have studied biology in the previous classes must be knowing more about this nucleic acids, chromosomes, what chromosomes are made up of, what are the importance of chromosomes, or importance of nucleic acids, how they regulate the protein function or protein synthesis, and how they regulate certain characteristic, how something is inherited or transformed from one generation to another generation, what are the key roles played by it. All these things we must be knowing, especially those who have studied biology. Otherwise, also, in this syllabus, BSc 6th semester chemistry syllabus, nucleic acid only concepts are introduced, not much. Types of nucleic acids, functions, and the basic structure of nucleic acid, only that much is given in the syllabus. So our discussion will be restricted only to that. Okay. So now, what are nucleic acids? They are the main information carrying molecules of the cell, and by directing the process of protein synthesis, they determine the inherited characteristic of every living thing. Okay. There are two types of nucleic acids. One is DNA, that is deoxyribose nucleic acid. Another one is RNA, that is ribose nucleic acid. In RNA there are many types, but major there are three types: transfer RNA, messenger RNA, and ribosomal RNA. And this is what happens when the nucleic acid gets degraded. You get nucleotides, nucleosides, bases, and uric acids. First we will see what is DNA, what are the main structural components of DNA, and how it is made. DNA is composed of a pentose sugar. Pentose sugar means, 5-membered sugar it is. 5-carbon sugar we can call it as. Now hexose means 6-carbon sugar, for example glucose. So this is a pentose sugar, and a phosphoric acid and some cyclic bases containing nitrogen. The sugar moiety present in DNA molecule is beta-2-deoxyribose. The cyclic bases, there are 4 cyclic bases present in that: purine and pyrimidine bases. They are adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. It's also called AGCT. Okay, how it is made up of? First we will see one by one. Now what is that deoxyribose? Why it is called deoxyribose? Because it contains one oxygen less. See, ribose is this one. If you see it, 5-membered ring, okay, with OH here, OH everywhere, OH here, but one OH is missing here. That's why this becomes deoxyribose. This is ribose, this OH is missing, that's why this is called deoxyribose. Now how this DNA is made up of? DNA is nothing but it's a polynucleotide. So what is that nucleotide? Nucleotide contains sugar plus nucleobase and then phosphate. You have a sugar, that is deoxyribose. You add nucleobase, any one of these nucleobases. Nucleobase may be adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. So you get nucleoside. One nucleobase is added here, and then you add phosphate to other OH. So it will become nucleotide. Now these are the nucleobases which you can add: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. So adenine and guanine, they are purine bases, and cytosine and thymine, they are pyrimidine bases. So here which one is added? That is guanine. You can see the structure here. Guanine base is added here. So this is the nucleotide after making bond with phosphate. So if you see the 3 parts of a nucleotide: nitrogenous base, sugar molecule, and phosphate group. So these 3 will together make a nucleotide. Okay, without phosphate it is nucleoside, this plus this. Okay, this is sugar, this is base, this is phosphate. Sugar plus base is nucleoside. Sugar plus base plus phosphate, that is nucleotide. Now when you polymerize it, So that becomes polynucleotide. You can see one structure of polynucleotide. You have adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. So these are arranged here. Two are purine bases and pyrimidine bases, and this sequence will repeat. You have a long chain that is polynucleotide. One side you have phosphate end, and you have sugar in between, and then you have nitrogenous base. Okay, this is a phosphate end that comes as the backbone of this. So now these two, one more will come here. The pairing will take place between these two through hydrogen bonding. So how this pairing will take place, you can see it here. So adenine pairs with the thymine, cytosine pairs with the guanine. Adenine and thymine will come together and form bonding through hydrogen bond. Okay, it is not a strong covalent bond; it's a hydrogen bond, but it exists stable. Okay, under ordinary condition, this bond is stable. Adenine, thymine, and cytosine and guanine, ATGC. Okay, this is one polynucleotide, this is another polynucleotide. They are coming together and forming hydrogen bonding, and they get locked. Okay, so it will form a double helix structure. Because of this base, it will form a kind of helix structure like this. Okay, you can see it here: adenine, thymine, okay, cytosine and guanine. They are paired here, and they get locked, and you will get a double helix structure of this type. This is the 3D structure of DNA. So this is how DNA is made. So if you want to recollect how DNA is made, first nucleotide is made. Nucleotide is formed from sugar plus nucleobase plus phosphate. Then once a nucleotide is formed, it will undergo polymerization to give polynucleotide, and then two polynucleotide chains come together and form bond, form double helix DNA. Okay, this sugar phosphate backbone it produces, and this is base pair. Remember, bases present in them are adenine, thymine, cytosine and guanine. If you want to summarize the chemical structure of DNA, the sugar phosphate backbone, and these are the bases, and what holds the strand together, that is hydrogen bonds between the bases on adjacent strands. Okay, from DNA to proteins, these are coming under functions, we will see. And then you have chromosomes because of DNA. So each one consists of DNA here, and with the proteins it will form a kind of it will form the key material, that is chromosomes. Anyway, this you don't have to remember, this is just for your knowledge. You can go through this YouTube video, which very nicely explains how chromosome is formed, and the role of DNA in that, and how DNA constitutes chromosomes by combining with certain proteins. If you see the importance of DNA, you know DNA is the universal blueprint for life on Earth. If something happens, some robbery or some murder, rape case, something happens. Today, a forensic lab will do DNA testing. You know it. Through that, you can find what exactly happened. You can match with the some suspects and identify whether the person is convicted or not. Okay, this is very much widely used in forensic research. All in forensic study you make use of DNA, and you must be knowing nowadays so many. Other things are also controlled by this. The data generation, lots of things. You can go through some of the interesting videos available on YouTube. And there's a very special significance of DNA. And DNA is unique to each person. If you take my DNA and your DNA, it will be completely different. Somewhere pairing will be different. Okay, that's why my DNA won't match with your DNA exactly. Okay, many other things are similar, but there will be minor variation. Because of that, one can identify the person, or the convicted person can be identified. Okay, it's the genetic material responsible for carrying all the hereditary information. That's why from parents to offspring. So the genetic information can be carried through this. It can cause scripting defects or protect living creatures from disease. Yes, it has property of replication for passing genetic information, crossing over, produce recombination. Okay, because many defects can be controlled by this. Changes in sequence and number of nucleotides cause mutation. It is responsible for the variation and in the formation of new species. If there is a mutation, there can be formation of new species. It controls all the metabolic reactions and through RNAs, and RNAs direct the synthesis of protein. Very important thing is it directs the synthesis of RNA. Whenever required, RNA will be synthesized from DNA, and this RNA will regulate the synthesis of proteins. Okay, that's why DNA also helps in the synthesis of proteins through RNA. These are some of the references. Please go through it, which I referred. And there are various nice and interesting videos explaining the structure of DNA and chromosomes. So chromosome is not needed for you for this syllabus, but at least DNA you should know. You should be thorough with the structure, the bases present, and how the pairing takes place, and what are the different components of DNA and functions of DNA, and recent updates you can go through by watching some new videos. Okay, thank you for watching.